Hi, hello. I am finally back home. Yes, I got my hair cut. I also went to the bookstore. I just took myself on a little day date where I just go and do stuff that I love. So I got my hair done. I love it. She curled it a little bit. I always go to the same stylist and we talked books and it was fantastic. But I wanted to open up this vlog because I am currently going to read 2 books in this vlog, hopefully. I actually had a head cold, so this was supposed to be a big like fantasy romance reading vlog. And I got a cold that lasted for like 5 or 6 days, so you're getting just a couple of days in my life. So yeah, I wanted to update you. I'm currently on chapter 9 of Husbands and Lovers by Beatrice Williams. So this is a historical fiction that takes place in Egypt, and it has a 1950s POV and then it has a 2002 POV. So we're going back and forth between 2 women, and it's very interesting. Like, both of their stories they're both very interesting and they're easy to separate. So I'm really enjoying the writing style. I like the this like mystery surrounding this heirloom that she now has, and she's wearing the person in the women we're following in 2022. You see that she's a single mom. She has a son who needed, like, he had this like mushroom poisoning when he was younger, and so he needs like a new kidney, so he has to go to dialysis 3 times a week. So it's like a little bit of that at the beginning of the book. But I have never read a historical fiction book that's set in Egypt, so I find that very interesting. They're talking about Israel and Palestine and the Palestinians and the French that are in Egypt during that time, which is not something I'm like super familiar with. So I find it very, very, very interesting. Like, I'm very intrigued to like sit down and continue reading this. But this is currently my audiobook, so like while I work, I listened to this while I was driving to get my hair done. I was listening to this. So this is actually our Leave It to the Pros book club for January. So you can join us on Christy's channel on the 23rd. I'm very excited to chat about this. The other book that I started last night is one of like the last fantasy romances I wanted to read for my vlog, but I have really high hopes and I think this is going to actually be a 5-star for me. So it is House of Bane and Blood by Alexis L. Minard. So I was told this is Peaky Blinders but make it fantasy, and I love that, so I'm very excited. And they have like this beautiful artwork, which I didn't know. So that's her, and then we'll get to a point, like I'll get to a point where I guess it'll switch POVs, but it'll show his, and he looks exactly like a Peaky Blinder. So yeah, I have the audiobook, so I'm physically reading this and listening to the audiobook, and I'm only 2 chapters in. I'm only this far in. I wanted to read the prologue and like kind of get into the world, so I'm very intrigued to where this is gonna go. But I want to show off the 2 books that I bought at my used bookstore. So it's Second and Charles, which some people know what that is. Some people, I think it's only in the Southeast. I could be totally wrong, but they have new books and they have old used books. So I found this book, which is Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik, and I heard a lot of good things, and this was used, but it looks brand new for $7, so I couldn't pass this up. It literally looks brand new, minus this little part on the cover. But I've heard really good things. I checked Goodreads. I try to do that before I buy any books, and some of my friends read this and gave it like 4.5, 5 stars, so I'm very excited. Now, another one that I bought was An Ember in the Ashes by Saba Tahir. When I went to Barnes & Noble in a Come Shop With Me video just a couple weeks ago, I asked on my Instagram, should I get this one or The Air, and I left because I wasn't sure. Like, the poll was up for like 2 seconds. And everyone overwhelmingly said this book, so this is also on my 25 books to read in 2025. So I can't wait to pick this one up. I'm going to see if I can get the audiobook from my library, but they do have beautiful artwork. So yeah, I'm very excited. I know this is a completed series. There's 4 books, so, and this is the new cover. This is the only book they had. I would have bought book 2, but they only had this one book by Saba Tahir. They had another series. I forgot, the one with the scythe on the cover, but I'm very excited to have this. So that was my little intro to this vlog. I hope you enjoy spending a couple of days with me in this vlog. I'm actually gonna go make some graphics for a project that I've been working on. I had to do earlier today, but ran out of time before my hair appointment. So I'm gonna go do that, listen to a little bit more of my audiobook, which is Husbands and Lovers. So I hope you enjoy. Hello! I am here with a little bit of an update. So I did have some b-roll of like Barnes & Noble, just a little bit. So almost every Friday I usually will like go out to dinner with my parents. Like, I'll go see my parents, I'll see my brother, he's still in high school, so like I'll just catch up with them and stuff like that. And we went out to dinner. I think this is the first time I saw them since like Christmas, because New Year's happened, Then we were like snowed in. My parents got sick before that. So anyway, we went and had a nice family dinner, and it was nice to catch up. Well, Barnes & Noble is like across the street from the restaurant we went to. So I was like, why don't we take a family trip to Barnes & Noble, which was really fun because like my mom always asked me, she's like, I don't really know what you do for work as like an author assistant. So I was like, I'm gonna show you the authors that I worked with, and I showed her the Barnes & Noble, like Catherine Cowles and Rebecca Jinchak. And I'm in, I beta read some of Anna Huang's books, so I was like, this is what I did. This is what I got. My brother got like 2 books. He got like history books because he's all about history right now. My dad got an aircraft book. He used to work on aircrafts in the military. And they had some books that were 50% off, and most of them is not like my genre, but they had Hera by Jennifer Saint. So I have been looking at this book for so long. I had Atalanta that I recently read at the beginning of 2024, and I did not like it, but I love Ariadne. I really loved that. So yeah, Jennifer Saint will usually take like Greek goddesses or Greek mythology, female Greek mythology like people, and like kind of do like a reimagining, retelling. So I'm very excited for Hera. We all know Hera has a specific stigma, so I'm very excited for this one. And it was only like $12, $13 because it was half off. So I have some book mail, I have some reading updates, and I do have a Q&A for you. So I decided I haven't done like a full Q&A on my channel in actually quite a while. I don't know if I'll actually do like a sit down one. I haven't decided if I'm gonna do that or not. But I asked on my Instagram earlier today, I was like, drop me some questions that you want me to answer. So I got a decent amount, but I'm gonna give you my reading updates really quickly. So my audiobook is still Husbands and Lovers, and I'm like 50% and 51% through the audiobook. And it's actually super intriguing, like to the point where I want to go do some reading journaling stuff so I can listen to my audiobook. So I might go do that, might make some graphics for myself for like my Instagram and stuff like that. So while I listen to this audiobook, but basically, I think I said this in the previous clip when I like started this vlog, our female characters we're following, one is set in the 1951. And one is set in 2022. So the person who's set in 2022, you see that she is a single mom, and she never told her son's father that she was actually pregnant. And it was like one of those like whirlwind summer romances type thing. And now he's like this huge musician and stuff like that. So she just kind of like had to tell the her son's father. So it's like very interesting. I don't know where it's gonna go, but it is a hot mess. But also with that, she's trying to figure out what happened with her mother. She found out that her mother was like adopted, and it's something that like she had no idea. So she has this jewelry piece that was passed down from her mom to her sister found it after her mom passed away. And, you know, it said that, like, I want this daughter to have it because, you know, she has a sister and stuff like that. So I find that interesting. So that she's trying to trace that back to where it came from. And she went and had it looked at by a jeweler. And they were like, oh, this looks like an Egyptian piece, like from the 30s or 40s. And they're like, in Egypt? Like, she said she was adopted from, like, Ireland. Like, she's, you know, Irish. Like, what is happening? Like, what is going on? So there's a lot of with that. And I think, like, obviously the 1951... I'm pretty sure that's her grandmother. That's what I'm guessing. That's what I'm hinting at. Like the person, it's not her mom, it's her grandmother. The person who put the daughter, like the mom up for adoption. So it's interesting. I'm trying to see, like, I'm trying to piece it together and see if I'm right, to see like how they two, like both of those stories merged together. But I'm intrigued with both of them. So this is so good so far. I really, really like it. The fantasy romance I'm reading is House of Bane and Blood. So I'm about like 20% in. I fell asleep while reading this last night. I do have the Kindle version, which I think I took B-roll last night before I fell asleep. I have the Kindle version because it's in Kindle Unlimited, and I listened to the audiobook, but my friend gifted this to me, so I was like, oh, that's so sweet that I have the physical copy. So yeah, this is my reading plans for tonight, like once I go sit down and read with my eyeballs, but I'm really liking this one. So it is a little hard to kind of like keep track different houses and the different magic that they have. Like each person has a different magic type. And it's interesting. So she is a native and she doesn't have any magic. So they give like a little map of like what everything is. So like Bane is Benders and Dark Thieves, Blood is Harlands and Wares, and then we haven't met any Mirth, which is like Shifters. Giver and Greed, which is all mortals from the original Age of Creation, which I'm pretty sure she is just a mortal, but Chaos is crossed out. So I don't know, but she is into an arranged marriage with Nikolai. And I really love Nikolai. Like, it hasn't given like anything Peaky Blinders other than like the way they dress. Like, it's set in the 1930s in like London, Birmingham type thing. So that's the only thing that's giving Peaky Blinders vibes, but I'm not mad about it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not mad. So that is going really, really well. I like the female character. She's ahead of her family. Like, her father left everything to her. And I feel like there's some mystery around that. So I'm like, okay, but like, does she have magic? Because she was put into like a predicament where a were, which is like a vampire, they bit her and they're like, you taste wrong, like something's off. But she like she blends science with magic, so she has this serpent on her arm that moves and it's like a protector type thing. So I'm very intrigued. Like, I don't really have anything else. Like, you really just get like the world and everything set up. But I do love the chemistry between the two of them because they met previously before they knew who each other was. And then after that, she gets in kind of like a marriage of convenience, like situation contract. So it's very interesting. Anyway, book mail. I'm super excited. I have The Impossible Universe from Gianna Darling. I do have the ALC of this book. It dropped on my like book funnel app recently. So I'm very excited to dive in. That'll be like my Sunday book. I say Sunday book, but I'm very excited to read it. I'm like so anticipating this, but I'm also like scared because I know it ends on a cliffhanger because it's the first in a trilogy. But it says, he was my moon, she was my sun, and I was the sky that loved them both. So it's an MMF. Sebastian Lombardi, which if you've read the Anti-Heroes in Love duet, which is one of my favorite duets ever, that's the brother, like her brother in there. So let's see what's all in here. So we got some popcorn. Someone's an actress, or he's the actor, she's the actress. It's something with Hollywood, I do know that. Oh my god, I hate crinkle paper. This comes with a limited edition ARC, like paperback. And a bunch of like swag items. Oh my gosh, there's so much swag. Okay, hang on. Wait, a moment for the book. Get the hell out. Oh my god. This is actually gorgeous. I love guy covers. And this sprayed edges has like a moon. The inside is absolutely so pretty. Get the hell out. I think it takes place in London if I'm not mistaken. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Ooh, it smells really good. It's like that fresh printed smell. Okay, that is very stunning. I am honestly shocked. Okay, so it comes with Adam, Sebastian, Savannah, who is the characters in this book. A sticker, like an actor sticker, I guess you could say. Single take in a throuple. It's funny. In my Gianna, I'm always in my Gianna Darling era. Okay, I love that woman to pieces. Okay, it's all an act. Oh, that's a magnet. That's really cool. And then Essence of Drama. Oh my god, that's so cute. It's like a little perfume bottle. Okay. Then it comes with a little button. It says His Impossible Universe. I feel like I'm gonna cry. Am I gonna cry? I might just cry. Okay. That was NSFW artwork. Get the fuck out. Okay, that artwork I cannot show, but I can show this one. So this is like a character art, the moon and his tides. I wish I could show you this, but I cannot. That is some spicy artwork. Oh my god, I cannot wait to read that, guys. I'm so excited. I wanted to get to it like today, but I just haven't had time to read like audiobook wise. Also, I did something different with my hair and I love it. Okay. Now we're gonna get to the little Q&A section of this vlog. So I definitely have a lot. Okay, so there I said ask me anything, like literally life, bookish, anything. Okay, so we'll see how long this takes me. So question number one, I'm going right from the first person who dropped it. The first question is your top 3 Catherine Cowles books. So I've been a Catherine Cowles fan for a little while now, and I do work with her, and I'm very excited about that I get to have that opportunity. So this is my Catherine Cowles shelf right here. Okay, so if I had to choose Shadows of You by Catherine Cowles. No. Yes. Wait. Oh, okay. Hang on. I gotta think about this. Shattered Sea by Catherine Cowles, because that one has chronic pain rep. Our female character in that book, she has an injury to where she deals with a lot of chronic pain. And it was just so well done. And I related to so much like of that because I do have chronic pain as well. More recently, I loved Delicate Escape. I just love the slow burn, kind of like gentle breakdown of her walls that he has to deal with. And I really love it. I love all of her books, so that has to be a top one. And I think, hang on, and then this edition of Shadows of You. Shadows of You is my favorite in the series. It is a single mom romance, but Roan is like literally so protective of this person, of like just of everyone, like both of them. And there's little ballet slippers because the little girl does ballet and he like takes her. It's so good. But this is, so if I would just say Shadows of You, Shattered Sea, and Delicate Escape. That's one from each like most recent series. So I do have a lot more other favorites, but if I had to pick top 3, that's my top 3. Okay. Question number 2 is a romance subgenre that you don't read a lot from, but you would love to delve more into this year. Dark romances. I haven't read a super, okay, I lied. I have read a lot of good dark romances, but it's been recent since I've picked up some, and maybe that's because I haven't explored other dark romance authors, like newer to me dark romance authors. But like my go-tos are Gianna Darling, she writes dark stuff, Jennifer Hartman, Pam Godwin, and I haven't read Pam Godwin's new stuff. I love Emily McIntyre. I haven't caught up on her stuff. Yeah, I just haven't read a lot of good dark romances lately, and I would love to like get back to it. That's not like, I've explored every subgenre of romance, so I'm not like, I'm pretty sure I have. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm pretty sure I have. But like, I definitely want to dive into more dark romances because I haven't really delved, you know, I just haven't read a lot of those recently. Okay, the next question is, what are your top 3 favorite special edition books you own? Hold please. Okay, so I do own a decent amount of special editions, okay? Like I could have picked some fantasy, and I was looking at my fantasy, I'm like, there's not really like any hardcore ones. So the first one is obviously near and dear to my heart, and that is Real by Kennedy Ryan. So this is the Booktuber box. So me and 4 other people here on Booktube did a box with Dark and Quirky, where we each got to pick one of our favorite books that we've, you know, ever read, like, you know, whatever the case may be, like any subgenre of romance, and we got to help design a book. So Real actually got picked up right after this by Kennedy Ryan. It got picked up with Bloom, which I love that happened. But I was able to help design this book, and this book means the world to me. It's a chronic illness rep in a book, and she is just, Neva is just absolutely amazing. So yeah, I picked out the cover, all the elements, the shininess, the sprayed edges, the back I just love so much. The end pages are absolutely gorgeous, and the original Real, and these are like the papers, the chapter heading. Now the original cover has red on it, and I love to match the cover when I like special editions. I love to kind of do an ode to that. But in this book, the chronic illness that our female character has is lupus, and the color for lupus is purple. And so I wanted to incorporate that because Neva goes through this whole journey with her lupus throughout this whole book, as well as she's falling in love with Cannon and how he handles that diagnosis that she gets and how he is there for her. This book has a special place in my heart, and so I was incredibly grateful to the Dark and Quirky team that I was able to partner with them for this book. And thank you to Kennedy Ryan for letting me even like agreeing to let us do a special edition. My next favorite special edition is Credence by Penn Douglas. This is the Hella Lovely edition. I was sent this by a friend who didn't really love the book as much, but these go for like so crazy. It's just a paperback, and it's signed by Penn Douglas too. Like it's hand signed, but I love this book so much. I have so many editions. And then my next one is Twisted Games by Anna Huang. So this is the Fairy Loot edition. I love the character art on here, and I love the naked, oh, it's hard to see because it's shiny, naked hardcover. I love the sprayed edges. I think they did a really good job, and I think this is the one that I had Anna personalize. Yeah, I had Anna personalize this when I saw this last year, but I love this. This is my favorite book in the Twisted series. So those are my 3 favorite special editions. That was a long question. Someone asked, how did you and Jess meet? So me and Jess, which is so funny, so it was after I got married. So I got married in 2021 in November. So after that, we really became friends in February and March. We were going to go to a signing together. She didn't, like someone was going to go with her and they pulled out, and I was like, oh, why don't you just stay in my room, like, so you don't have to stay by yourself. You can come hang out with us, you can come hang out with me, we can chill out. And that's kind of how we like first met, and then we just started talking after that, and it just kind of like rolled with it. But also like we're very similar, but we're also very different. Like we have a lot of similarities, but we are like very different people, which works, I guess, in a friendship. But also it's like the way that we look at like our content is the same. We like to bounce ideas off of each other. I don't see her as a competitor at all. Like I literally see her as just like a friend in this space. So like we bounce ideas off of each other. We we work together, we work really well together, we have our PR company, we have a podcast, like we just naturally, like, I don't know, work really well together. Do we have fights? Do we bicker? Absolutely. Like, we argue and bicker, and that's okay. Like, that happens in friendships, but most of the time we bicker just, like, for fun. Like, for funsies. Like, we just annoy each other, you know? Oh, you know what I mean? But, yeah, that's really how we met. And we just started chatting before that, like, in DMs and stuff like that. Like, I was a fan of her videos before I think I started a YouTube channel, so, yeah, that's it. Someone said, how are you? I'm good. I'm good because I love this question, but I have made it a point since the end of last year to take my anxiety medicine every single day, and it's been over a month, and I've taken my anxiety medicine every single day rather than like taking it for 4 or 5 days and then not taking it on the weekends because I don't have, like, you know, I'm not in my own schedule. I don't go up the stairs and work and do all that stuff. So I've made it a point to do that, and I feel great, and I feel very productive, and I feel not as overwhelmed. Like, my anxiety is like manageable. So yes, thank you for asking. Someone said the favorite thing about your job. It's actually really cool. Like, I don't know, for me, I always, like, at dinner when I went to my parents, I was like, are you proud of your kids? Like, Alex is 18, I'm 30. Like, I'm like, you know, are you proud of us or whatever? And he's like, yeah, I'm extremely proud. And that's why my mom was like, yeah, but what do you do for work? So being able to walk into Barnes & Noble and just show her, like, the authors that I work for, that they're on that table. I see being an indie published author is huge. Like, Catherine and Rebecca are both indie published, but just seeing their books in Barnes & Noble across the country, like, I can walk into any Barnes & Noble anywhere and see their books, is just, like, really cool. That, like, I don't know, knowing them as people, but also just being able to support them in any way that I can so they can write these, like, incredible stories. That's a big, like, I don't know, it's just cool to see the process start to finish too, and just be a part of these, like, amazing teams. Like, the people I work for are genuinely amazing people. So yeah, that's a really cool part, is to see, like, the end product and be able to show, like, my loved ones who have no idea about the book world and how it works and all that stuff. Like, yeah, I work for this person. Like, I'm a part of their team so that they can write these amazing stories and amazing words that gets them into Barnes & Noble. So, yeah. I just asked, favorite memory with me? So I have a lot of favorite memories with Jess. Most of the time it's like when I say something and it takes her off guard and she just, like, laughs hardcore. Most of the time it happens on our podcast. But being able to, like, go to Disney around Christmas time is really fun because we both really love Christmas. And I love to be able, I'm all about memories, right? Like, making memories, which is why I don't always vlog when I go, like, quote unquote on vacation. But, like, spending the holidays together, like, she came for Thanksgiving in 2023 to hang out. She met my mom and my dad, and they, like, love her and stuff like that. But also going to Disney for Christmas was super fun. Going to explore, like, new cities with her is always fun. Going to the Jonas Brothers concert was super fun because she was, like, fangirling out. I mean, I was fangirling out too, but those are just a couple of my favorite memories. What do you want to see more of in the book community? Inclusivity, but inclusivity in the way that, like, we don't yuck on someone's yum. Like, just because someone reads one thing and you don't particularly like that, like, you don't like, I don't know if inclusivity is the right word that I'm thinking of, but just, like, let people read what they want. Let people buy what they want. It's their money. It's not your money. Like, what? Also, like, I mean, this does come from, like, as someone who has a disability, I always love to see disability romances, disability mental health in books. And of course, I'm always going to push for, like, more of that in books, like, more mainstream, more of it being, like, a normalized thing, because a lot of people do live with mental health disorders and chronic illness and disabilities. So, like, it's a lot higher percentage than, like, someone who doesn't have one. So, yeah, just, like, more of that. But in the community in general, not just in the industry, don't yuck on someone's yum. A book you've been putting off reading. Unloved by Peyton Corinne. That book I've had on my Kindle for 3 months because I got an ARC of it from NetGalley, which I don't know how I was approved for that, but I was. And I've just been putting it off because I'm like, I loved Unsteady so freaking much that I'm just not ready for that. I'm just not ready. I'm not ready. Favorite movie? Jess, I don't watch a lot of movies. She is a movie person. I'm not a movie person. If I had to pick my favorite movie, if you ask my husband, he would say A Wolf of Wall Street with Leonardo DiCaprio. I fucking love that movie. Sucker Punch, which is an old movie, but, like, not a lot of people know it. That's also one of my favorite movies. So yeah. Favorite mug you own? I have two, and they mean two different things. So I have a Belle one from Disney, because I'm a Disney girl. I used to work at Disney, like in Disney corporate, so I'd go to the parks all the time. But we went to Epcot, and in one of the perfume shops, like in France, I think it was, in the gift shops, because they have a lot of perfume in France. They have a perfume shop in France, and in one of the gift stores in France. That was a hard thing. I used it this morning actually, and it's just a beautiful bell, like classic bell, but like more of like a hand drawn, and it's just very elegant and pretty and not like cartoony, which I love the cartoons too, but I love that. And then my other mug is my Venetian mug, the Venetian in Vegas, because that's where I got married. And I love that. One thing you can't live without other than your phone. Miko and Misi and Mimi, my babies. No. Lip balm. That's my thing. I put lip balm on all the time. Like, I need like I say lip balm, but like chapstick. I used to use EOS all the time, but then I realized that they're not that great. And like, I always have to feel something on my lips because I don't like the feeling of nothing being dry. Like, you know how people have like their emotional support water bottle? I've always had that, but I also always have chapstick with me. Like, wallet, chapstick, water, phone. That's what I don't leave the house with. And if I do, like, I have to buy chapstick somewhere. I don't know what it is, but I don't like the feeling of my lips being like dry. Yeah, that's a very bizarre thing. What would you name your next pet? So we obviously keep the M name. So we have Miko. Miko is our oldest baby boy. He's a pug, chihuahua pug mix. Yeah, he's tiny. He's like 20 pounds. And then we have Mimi, which is our kitty cat. M-I-M-I. Miko is M-E-E-K-O. He came with that name. So he was the firstborn. He was the first baby. Mimi came when we lived in Florida. So about 4 years after we had Miko. 3 or 4 years after we had Miko? Yeah, 3. And we just kept with the M names. And then we recently got Misi last year in February. She just turned 1 in October. And Misi is M-E-C-I. And that's actually named after one of our friends. Her nickname was Nisi, but she passed away. So we named her Misi to keep with the M's. And I don't know, we wanted to do Momo, like if we got another cat, we would get a boy cat. But I don't know if Mimi's like another cat type of household. Like, I don't know how she'd do with another cat, female or male. But we love Momo. Momo is from, I think, Avatar Last Airbender. There's a character in that named Momo. So something with an M. Something with an M. And the only other last question they have on here is, how did you meet Brandon? So me and Brandon have been together in 2025. It'll be 14 years. And we've been married for 4 years this year. I had to think about that. So we got married on our 10th anniversary. So we kept the same, our dating anniversary, we kept the same for our wedding anniversary because he would probably forget that date. But that date has been around for 10 plus years at that point. So we weren't forgetting it. So yeah, we actually met in high school. I was a senior, he was a junior, even though he's 2 weeks older than me. And Louisiana, I started school when I was 4 instead of 5. So I would have been in his grade, but I started a year earlier. So I graduated a year earlier than him, went to college and stuff like that. But yeah, I was in color guard, he was in drumline, in band and stuff like that. He actually dated his exes. 2 of his exes were 2 of my previous friends. It was a little messy. Yeah, that was a I don't do drama. That was all the drama I needed at 16, 17 years old. That was a lot. So yeah, we've been together since we were 17. We turned 17 together. Yeah, we met in school, went through college together. He moved to Florida. I graduated and moved with him. Like, you do life together. You have to make those decisions. I mean, it's not anything like major, but yeah, he was dating my friend. That's how I met him. And then they broke up. Then I started dating him. That is a whole story time though, but that is how we met. That is not our story. So that was a very long Q&A, but I'm gonna go read because I'm very, very intrigued by these 2 books and I want to finish them for you guys by tomorrow so I can edit this vlog so you can see it on Sunday. But I think I'm gonna go work on some graphics, listen to my audiobook of Husbands and Lovers, which I'm loving, and then I'm gonna physically read House of Bane and Blood tonight, which I'm loving, this combination of a historical fiction and fantasy. And then the next book, if you're wondering what I'm going to read, is The Moon and His Tides. I hope to finish this before Onyx Storm comes out on Tuesday. Tuesday, I say like Monday night. So I'll probably listen. This doesn't seem super long. I think the audiobook's like 11 hours. So I'm very excited to read this one too. This is absolutely gorgeous. Holy bananas. Anyway, that's all I have. I'll talk to you guys later. Hello. I am actually editing this vlog that you're seeing tomorrow. It's 9 at night. I am always editing at the last minute. That's what happens. And I realized that I never updated you today. I was quite busy with reading, with filming, with life things. And I just wanted to update you because I do have a reading update. So I did finish House of Bane and Blood. And I think I'm gonna give this like 4.5 stars. There are a lot of things I loved about this book. It is a good introduction. I know a lot of people say it's like Peaky Blinders, but with fantasy romance, and I do get that, but I feel like this has like a sci-fi steampunk type vibe, which I do get, like, because there's a lot of like mechanical things about this book. Like, I don't know what the word is, but like mechanical, it's like they have like certain things like tools and stuff like that. So it is interesting. Will I pick up the next book? Yes, I'm very intrigued in the next book. I want to download it off of KU and read it. I may even get the audiobook because the audiobook was really good, and I really loved it. So yeah, I'm very excited that I love this book so much. Of course, there was like a little bit of info dumping at the beginning. There was like paragraphs where it was like info dumping in between things, and I just noticed that because I read a lot, but I think overall it's still such a really good book, and I am so happy I read this. Yeah, I just really like the writing. I love the characters. I love Nico. I love Mila, and I cannot wait to see what the next book is, because he is about to go off after he found out something in the last part of this book. Like, he's about to go off. Like, I know it's like one of those things where it's like my wife, because he pulled that a lot in this book, but like this is gonna be like, the second book is gonna be the ultimate like where's my wife type thing. Like, I'm going to kill everyone, and I cannot wait. I love this so much. So that is my update for that book, so I'm glad I finished that one. So I still have about like 40% left of this book, which I'll probably finish tonight because I'm just like on my computer and stuff like that. But I didn't get to finish it in this vlog, but because this is our Leave It to the Pros book club pick for January, we will have a live show on January 23rd at 8 p.m. so you can join us and chat about this. But so far I'm liking it. I don't know, so we just got to a pivotal point, which I think I said that like Monk found out he had a child, and that, you know, all of this stuff, and he's one of the people we're following like in the now time in 2002. So I'm interested to see where that goes, but how also the like Egyptian time of like in 1951 plays a part, because it's like we're at like a pivotal point where things haven't really merged together, so I feel really confused on what's happening and how it's all supposed to come together. I don't know how I'm feeling. Like right now it's giving 4-star vibes, but could it be a 5-star? Maybe. So I'm very interested for our discussion on Thursday, so you can join us for that. But that is all I have for this reading vlog. It was a like quick 3-day vlog where I have like 30 minutes of footage, and I have no idea how that happened, but I did hope you enjoyed this little vlog. If you want to let me know you made it this far, leave me a water emoji, like the wave, for this, because she's in a pool and it's waves. So yeah, leave me a little wave emoji in the comments down below if you've made it this far. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe for more content from me. As always, I hope you're living a novel life, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.